Hi, my name is Koku with blackfilm.com, and I'm here with Yandy Smith-Harris, Karlie Redd, and Rich Dollaz, and we are here to talk about love and hip hop, lineage to legacy. Thank you guys so much for joining me.
Thank you,
Thank you
Koku.
for having
Thanks
us.
for having us.
Thank you. And I'm just so excited to talk to you guys about this because I know this had to have been a really, really interesting journey for you. So I'll just start with you, Yandy, since I said your name first. What was it like just kind of coming to this realization about who you are and, talking about your heritage? Did you know anything before?
So, a couple things. Growing up in America as Black people are part of the African diaspora here in America, when I thought of Africa, I thought of a land that was destitute. I thought of a land that lacked resources. I had this image in my head of children that were hungry. And I remember even growing up, hearing my family members say, you better eat your food. There are starving children in Africa. And that is kind of what the view of Africa was implanted in me. And after going through this process and truly learning, and then taking a trip to Africa, not working, but really getting into the culture and the land and the people, I learned that Africa was the land of abundance. It was the land of the most resources, the land of the best foods, the land of, you want to party, if you want to drive the nicest cars, they have all of that in Africa. And I really had to do a deep dive and commit to learning more about who I am and where I'm from. And my complete view of Africa has changed. And now I brought my children on my last trip to Africa, and they came back with the held even higher. They're already prideful, but now it's a different type of pride, because they're like, oh, my great grandmother, she was a queen, and my grandpa, he's a king, and they had this, and they had gold, and they had diamonds, and this is truly who they are, and this is really what it is. So their view of Africa is completely different than how it was growing up, and I'm so proud that that is what they think and know now.
I'm so glad to hear that. And it's funny because I'm East African. So
I already knew I was going to ask you right from your name.
From the name, I figured somebody would pick up on it. But that's just how I grew up, with the perception of people thinking of Africa. So I'm glad to hear that from you, and to understand that you were able to show your children that kind of just a different sort of type of understanding. Because Africa, like you said, I love that you said land of abundance. I mean, there are just totally different types of experiences to have. And I've seen like uber rich in Africa and on levels that like I can't even conceive of. But now I'm going to go with you, Karlie, because I know you have Trinidadian heritage, right?
Yes.
I knew. So with you, it's a little bit different because you have that Trini pride, of course. But so you have that culture that you have with you from the West Indian experience. How do you marry that with your the knowledge of your African culture as well? How does that feel?
So just let me say this. When Dr. Gina Page did the swab and we got our DNA, right? And when it came back to us on the show, I'm like, oh, I'm from Trinidad. You're not going to tell me nothing new. I'm from Trinidad. Come to find out, I'm from Nigeria.
Oh, wow.
Yes, wow. I'm from Nigeria. It's so crazy. And another thing, my sisters might have been calling me because that's the only country I've ever visited in Africa before I went with Yandy for Christmas break. That is the only country I've been to Africa like 5 times. I've been in Nigeria 5 times. I'm like, what? Oh my God.
Something drew you to it.
Something drew me to it. I did a movie there. I have friends from Nigeria. It was crazy. Something drew me to Nigeria this whole time, and not knowing that's where I'm from.
That's awesome. Amazing. And so what about you, Rich?
Go back to the original question.
Well, I just want to know how you felt about your family, your heritage. And so just kind of understanding that, like, what was the journey like for you as far as getting to this place where you're starting to get an understanding of like exactly where you're from, who your people are, and how connected were you to any kind of experience in terms of Africa? Does it mirror what Yandy was saying? Or
obviously like Karlie and Yandy, I didn't know, right? It was something that we weren't knowledgeable of. And going back to what, I'm gonna take a little bit of what Yandy said, a little bit of what Karlie said. Going back to what Yandy said, this is the whole marketing thing. Like when you look back, when people have given us Africa, the pictures of Africa were the little kids starving. The pictures of Africa was like dirt and lions and like Tarzan, like that's Africa for us. We didn't really understand what Africa was to us. So it's been a journey of knowledge. It's been a journey of learning and understanding that just because something is portrayed in a specific way doesn't mean that that's what it is. Right? a whole lot different. Like Yandy said, the world of abundance over there. They live differently. They live as good as, if not better than we live here. So with that being said, the marketing has been something that's been, I guess, trifle for our people. We don't know who we are. Going back now, piggybacking off what Karlie said, I'm Jamaican and Indian, right? So I didn't know that I was the Milikai tribe from Cameroon. I didn't understand the importance of that. I didn't understand what that really meant. The point I guess I'm trying to make is that this has all been a journey of knowledge. And I think that everybody needs to take it because you feel so much better. And like Yandy said, the way you can teach your kids and show your kids, and it's like a step of like, we didn't get this experience that you're getting now.
Yeah.
And that's so important for people to understand that this experience is this is paramount, man. This is so huge for everybody to really understand what it really is, as opposed to what you've been taught or what you've been told it is. That's the difference. It's a journey of knowledge, and that knowledge is paramount.
I love to hear this from you all specifically. I think when Love and Hip Hop, people kind of, they expect a sort of experience in terms of when they watch the show, but this is just on a whole nother level. And you are like just really taking in the forefront of showing us your heritage, showing us a different side of Africa, and letting people know that what they've been fed is not necessarily true, And I appreciate that it comes from you guys because you have voices that are very, very important to the youth, especially, and of course, people around all of our ages as well. But that's amazing. I love this.
So, you know what? I think it's actually in true Love and Hip Hop fashion. If you just think back to the timeline of Love and Hip Hop, we have really been the trailblazers in reality TV. We dealt with incarceration, before other reality TV shows were dealing with it. We dealt with relationships and those families fighting to stay together, fighting to deal with all of the pressures of, being faithful and commitment. And a lot of times we were the first, and I think as a community, this is the woke we've ever been. And I think that this is the most revolutionary we've ever been. And one thing that I always say is this revolution will be televised. And why wouldn't Love and Hip Hop be one of the first to really take this experience and bring in our community with us? So I think all of this is in true and pure Love and Hip Hop fashion, where we should be one of the first ones to really open up the world to young people and those that have grown with us now for 12 years to show like, we're not just this one way, or we're not just Americans living here, making money. That's not what we're just about. We are also about who we are, like the real of who we are. And we want you guys to come in on this experience and this journey with us.
No, thank you all for being so open and for inviting us to, because even heritage, things like that, it could be a very private experience, and you're having that experience on television. So I really appreciate all of you for sharing that with us. Thank you.
Thank you.
Yes. So once again, my name is Koku with blackfilm.com. I'm here with Yandy Smith-Harris, Karlie Redd, and Rich Dollaz. We are talking about Love and Hip Hop, Lineage to Legacy. That will be premiering on February 7th. And they're going through an amazing journey. And they've allowed us into their world to really be a part of their discovery and their heritage. I thank you all. Thank you.
Thank you so much.
Take care, everybody. Appreciate you.
Thank you.
Bye-bye. If you want to see more content like this on blackfilm.com, make sure you like, subscribe, and ring that bell.